Hi, welcome to everyone's favourite segment, Mailbag. Yes, I've been inundated. This is most of the big boxes I've got. I've still got like half a shelf full of smaller ones as well. It's crazy. Sorry, I haven't done Mailbag in a little bit, so let's get through it. I don't know, biggest one first? First up, one from Tokyo, from N. Muricum, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hi to all my Japanese viewers. And if you haven't seen it, heard it, did a podcast, the Amp Hour, of course, podcast a couple of weeks back with Akiba. He's from Japan. He's not Japanese, but he's from Japan, and very interesting episode. If you haven't listened to it, I won't link it in. Just go over to the Amp Hour and search for it. Anyway, let's see what we've got from Tokyo. We have Nestle Kit Kats. These are got all the Japanese. Ta-da! Just what are they? They're like green mint. They're like green tea or something. I don't know. Strange. Let's have a look. We have a note. Yeah, I was right about the green tea Kit Kats. That's just wrong. It's just, no. Wrong. Anyway, I haven't read the rest of the note because, this is pretty heavy. This must have cost a fortune to send. Thank you very much. I assume that, nicely, not wrapped is the word, but nicely bundled paper like that, just wrapped up newspaper like that, sort of, twisted together to form sort of like a semi-hard kind of thing like that, can make decent packing material if you're out of the foam stuff. So let's have a squiz at what this puppy is. And it's interesting. Oh, sorry, I don't think you can see that. It is. Ta-da! Look at this. We love vintage PCs here on the EEVblog, and this is looks like some old Sharp thing, is it? Some sort of vintage gear? Image in, hard drive? What is a vintage PC? Which I don't think I've ever heard of nor seen. It's a Japanese thing. It's from Sharp. It's an X68000. Geez, I wonder what processor it uses. These were and still are apparently very popular, as they are. Many arcade games and stuff were produced for it in the 80s and the early 90s. Many of the ports to this system are near or arcade perfect, which is something true gamers always seek out. Woohoo! Street Fighter 2 and all that jazz. It was about 375,000 yen at the time, about $1,500 in US currency. And upon teardown, it contains a variation of SCSI called SASI that only Japanese computers seem to use. Anyway, awesome. This will make an interesting teardown. I will, of course, do this. It won't be on the mailbag because it warrants more than a 2-minute teardown. So there you go, an X68000. Awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, it's Alex. Awesome, Alex. That'll make definitely a separate Teardown Tuesday. Beauty. So I'll just show you a little bit up close of this thing. I had never heard of it because, it was only sold in Japan, and it's designed to go upright like this, and it's just rather unusual. 2 separate units like this, dual 5.25-inch floppies over here, volume, keyboard, mouse, joystick port. I don't know if that's joystick 1, I guess, single player. Maybe there's another one on the back. Have a look. And some headphones, and it's got a metal bar in the middle. It almost looks as if that's designed to be some sort of like pull up out of there as a carry handle, but I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, we've got reset and interrupt buttons on the side here, and on the back, a couple of expansion slots. We've got a printer using a IDC header, hard disk, expansion floppy disk unit. Why you'd want more than 2 floppies, I don't know. But anyway, power, it's got auxiliary AC out as well, presumably for the monitor. Audio in and out. And yep, there's your second joystick port. Oh, with the original cover. Look at that. RS-232 serial image in, which is rather interesting. What, it could, a D25 male for image in? I'm not sure what the hell that is. See-through color, TV control, stereoscopic sound, I guess, output. And yeah, it's a rather interesting beast. And a remote input. And a rear disc eject. And a couple of expansion slots. Bizarre. We're going to leave that for, and a fan, we're going to leave that for a Teardown Tuesday. The Sharp X68000. Thanks, Alex. Next up, one from the Netherlands. Hi to all my viewers in the Netherlands. This is from Rob Van Gils. So let's check it out. I actually posted a photo on Twitter of all my Mailbag stuff, if you haven't seen it. And a few people commented on this cool blue thing. So I don't know who or what cool blue is Rob from Cool Blue? I have no idea. But anyway, Van Cool Blue. No idea. Apparently they are known. So let's check it out. It's I can give you a bit of a spoiler of what's in here. Well, I don't actually know, but there is a note. It contains defect electronics. Should I read said note or not? It's almost like postcard size, but it's not. It is. Hi Dave, I found some old stuff laying around just collecting dust. Thought he'd send it in. I won't tell you what it is. A whole bunch of stuff. Rob Bavel in the Netherlands. There's Bavel. Awesome. How many viewers have I got in Bavel? I wonder if that's how you pronounce it. Bavel? Bavel? Whoa, look at that. There you go. It's a Siemens watt-hour meter. Interesting. Don't think I've done a watt-hour meter before. And a Hitachi controller. So lots of... Yep, this is all probably 2-minute teardown. LCD controller. Look, it's going to have a touch, a capacitive touch interface. And, whoa, that just pulled straight off. It's a Hitachi programmable controller. Awesome. Bunch of 2-minute teardowns coming up. So let's have a look at this Hitachi PLC, I presume it is, programmable logic controller, the PGM-JR. Quick 2-minute teardown. It did have a, it's got a port on the front, and a female serial interface. Microphone and ear plug. That's very interesting. Why it would have audio capabilities for some sort of, programmer. If you take that programmer off the front, ta-da, this is what's inside. Programmable control system, DC input, RY output. No idea what RY is. Anyone familiar with these things? Let us know. Oof, inside, really dating this sucker. 4000 series CMOS, 7400 series TTL. Looks like we've got ourselves some sort of ROM over here, but where the processor is, I don't know. Must be, or it's got Seek on it, but it's got -250, which indicates it's some sort of memory, or it's like mask ROM or something like that. So interesting. Got a huge big super cap under here, 0.47 microfarads, so half a farad. Got ourselves a relay and some LEDs mounted on nice little standoffs there. So let's lift this out, see what else is beyond that. Oh, genuine inductor bodge. You don't see too many inductor bodges, really. That's like almost like they've broken the power rail there. So it's like they had some sort of, noise power supply issue, something like that, and went, oh, well, we'll bung in an inductor in there. That'll clean it up. She'll be right. Got some hot snot on there. So, yeah, oopsie on the power rail. And more old school Hitachi HD6803 processor. There's our ROM. So the other one must be, not sure, but it did have that -250 on it with Seek. There we go. We've got some Hitachi SRAM and just your regular 7400 series support stuff. The headers are rather interesting. Standard 0.1-inch header, but they are keyed like that. So yeah, that's the board-to-board interconnect. This one just mounts directly on the back of that, and it's just got a ribbon cable which goes down to the board down in there, which is where it gets all of its power from, and does and controls the I/O, because here's some I/O boards here by the looks of them. I really don't mind at all how these cards pull out of there. The board-to-board connectors, they work really quite nice, retain them quite well. Got a couple of fuses down there, got some MOV protection there, the blue disc devices down there. Nothing else interesting to see under there. That's just power supply and a couple of more relays down in here. That's what RY stood for, relay output, duh. And looks like we have some, oh no, not unbranded. There we go. Takamisawa branded Japanese, I'm presuming, relays. And well, that's a dead simple board, and there's our DC input source board as well, and those NEC 2401 packages, by the looks of their placement and the fact that, look, there's no traces going from one side to the other. Like, I've never seen those NEC 2401s before, but just from the physical configuration of the board, you can tell what they are. They're optocouplers. There's opto isolation, because everything's, you know, just split directly under that chip. So I bet my bottom dollar they're opto isolators with a couple of pull-up resistor networks, and Bob's your uncle. So yeah, there's no fancy switch-in power supply down in there. That's just a old school linear. Thank you very much. Very big, heavy and beefy, and well, that's all you need in a controller. You need a processor and some I/O boards. Very simple. Exactly what you'd expect from such an old school controller. And no surprises for finding just as old school inside the controller as well. Once again, Hitachi 6303. We've got ROM, we've got some RAM, and then we've got, look, an 8255 up here for the peripheral interface stuff. So, yep, very, very simple. And cap bin over there. What, they didn't have the height on there, I guess, to get that green cap in there, and one little bodge on the bottom. That's it. And Rob wants to know what happened to this LED controller. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, there's our touch controller. There's our touch controller. Obviously, you can see the pattern on the circular pattern of the pads on the back. I'll have to force that board out by the looks of it. It's like stuck in there. You can read that chip with the macro lens, so that wouldn't have failed. But my guess is this board, which is a bit crusty looking, hey, is that like soldered in place to something? Seems mostly hollow. I got no idea, but hang on. Smells a bit crusty and burnt. As always, the nose knows. There's your problem. Look at that. That puppy there, another D-pack, looks like it's been completely burnt right off that board. Wah, 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 wah. Toast is so delicious. Look at that. Yeah. Can't say I've seen that touch controller before. It doesn't ring a bell. If you want to go look it up, go for your life. Next up, one from Sweden. Hi to all my Swedish viewers, from Robin Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Let's have a look. It's green. It's not easy being green, said Kermie. So let's have a squiz. Not sure how to get that opened. It's got sealed with some duct tape. A lot of people get that wrong, you know. A lot of people think it's duck, like quack tape. It's not, it's duct tape. So there you go. Let's have a squiz. Let's see what Robin has sent in. Hope I didn't damage it. Okay. Whoa. Oh, we got a metal box. Hang on. Got nice custom padding material there. Awesome. Well done. Well packed. I'm impressed. We got ourselves a note. And we got ourselves not of Switzerland, Sweden. Huh? It's like a lint thing. but it's got something else in it. I think it's a 3D printed object. Let's have a look. Not of Switzerland, but it's of Sweden. So, oh, look. Oh, very nice. Very cool. Look, it's a duck. Quack. Coincidentally, I was just talking about duct tape. And he's put a capacitor. There's a capacitor. How did, it's magic, how did Robin get the capacitor inside the duck? And Robin found this ABB brand. That's, I believe, who Mr. Gamble used to work for. My amp hour, esteemed amp hour co-host. So, 2-minute teardown. Thanks, Robin. It is a capacitor in a duck. You should not ask why or how. It just is. 2-minute teardown time on this ABB switch mode power supply. Oh, look at the DIN rail mount on the back. Oh, sexy as. It's rather interesting. It just comes off as a like a cage like that. Self-tapper torque screws in there, which aren't that impressive, but these things aren't designed to come apart. But geez, look at that. That's pretty impressive. Look, that's just got quality written all over it. HRC fuse, heat sunk MOV by the looks of it. Common mode choke, very, very nice. More MOV protection up there by the looks of it. Look at those beautiful wound inductors there on their little ferrite cores. That is just beautiful. You've got these huge traces going down here. Right angle, solder mounted, butt jointed, board to board. That looks like some serious transistor action in there. We've got ourselves a sill pad. They're not bolted through the tabs like that. Very nice. This is common in high quality gear. Just get the sill pad in like that. Nothing can go wrong. A secondary plate on here to actually push the transistor against the sill pad. And it's much better than dicking around with the isolators in there to isolate the screw from the thing at the back. It's just a nicer way to do it. We've got another, looks like that's probably the bridge rectifier under there, is it? There we go. That's interesting. Is that some sort of thermal? No cheap ass capacitors in here, as good as you can get. Nippon Chemicon, they don't want their 105 degrees C rated too, thank you very much. They don't want their reputation ruined by using cheap ass parts. Big ass NTC thermistors in there. We've got a couple of those. We've got ourselves yet another. That looks like a diode bridge. Dead giveaway by the shape and the 4 leads on it. Once again, a big sill pad at the back of it, and then a retaining clip on there like that. There's our mains power switch on the front. Very nice, very nicely spaced out. Lots of all quality parts. That is just really very, very nice. I'm thoroughly impressed with that. Those transformers look like top notch. Look at all the Kapton taping around there. Beautiful. Spared no expense, I'm sure. But, you know, these modules cost a fortune. Now, this actually must be like a thermal pad connecting through to this much bigger heatsink in here against the case. Why are they... Yeah, they've just gone for an extra solid block in there. I guess they needed some extra thermal mass on that puppy. Woohoo! Toasty yet again. These things are a bugger to get apart. I just had to bend the bend the metal up at angles like this to get it on there. There we go, bottom-sided load. Here's our controller circuitry. Note the solder thieving pads they've got there. This is designed for when it goes through the Wave soldering machine. I've told you about that before. It has to do with the dynamics of the wave and how it just bleeds off the solder as it passes through the molten wave of solder. Anyway, you can go Google that, I'm sure. I've got some MILF packages here. You know, I'm a fan of MILF. I don't know why. They just look nice, old school. Anyway, there's our controller stuff on the bottom, and once again, some there's a big ass diode on there, presumably, or could be some sort of protection device perhaps. But yeah, and there's those board-to-board interconnects. They've cut out slots in there and they've gone through. That's a cheap way to put boards together like that, you might think it's a bit dodgy because, you know, solder is not supposed to be used as a mechanical melt. Well, when it's all screwed together as a final construction like this is just fine. I've used this a ton of times in industrial applications. No problem whatsoever. And you can see some unused glue in there, those little red dabs of these surface mount resistors or whatever they were here. They didn't populate those, but they dabbed down the glue on the things, and that's how they solder. That's how they hold these parts down during wave soldering. You can see the red glue oozing out of the bottom there, because if you just sit them down with no glue, pass these over the wave soldering machine, you're going to get a lot of floaters. So thank you very much, Robin, for sending that one in. I don't think we've looked inside a bit of ABB gear before. So yeah, pretty top-notch, spared no expense, and you pay a fortune for these controllers. You know, they really don't skimp on these. Very nice. That'd be super reliable. Unfortunately, this one was a little bit toasty. Not sure why though, but yeah, it wouldn't be because they've cut corners. Geez, it's all the Nordic countries today. Netherlands. This one's from Robert van Leeuwen. L-E-E-U-W-E-N. However you pronounce that, and it is completely sealed in duct tape. Only open at top, please. This is completely sealed in duct tape. Okay, I will only open at the top. Says something, maximum cutting depth on the top. So I don't know what that means, so I'm just going to have to carefully, says the Aussie with the Crocodile Dundee knife, slice this thing open. It's all right. I'm a professional. Relax. Let's slice this puppy open, and here we go. All right, let's have a look. We've got some lots of shredded protection here, and I'll have to sweep my bench afterwards. Oh, I've got myself a... Hey, oh dear, hang on, I'm going to sneeze. I've got myself a hat. It says example. I assume I can just rip that off. It's got a solar cell and a propeller motor on the bottom. littlem.com. Awesome. So, my thing's not spinning. There's not enough light in here, obviously, to turn our motor. So I've got a whole bunch of caps. Thank you very much. No shortage of 4 caps. Jeez. Fan cap kits. Okay, so he's selling the spare cap motors. He's obviously selling these cap kits. Jeez, there's a lot of stuff. Hang on. This is a lot of heat shrink that are made especially for your own use. Since the minimum order quantities are very large, I decided to make these kits to give to long-term customers. Awesome. He's now considering selling these. I'll show you. I'll open it up. And, well, actually... probably shouldn't. There you go. That is a nice heat shrink kit, just long enough. I hate the ones that are just too long. And that is chock-a-block full of all the nice incremental sizes there. That's often the problem with heat shrink tubing, is the incremental sizes. But that is a very nice little kit. I'd sell that one. Definitely. Oh, happy birthday, Sagan. Oh, not in time. It was just his 4th birthday the other day, but I'll give that to Sagan when I go home. Awesome. Thank you very much. He will love it. And a hole punching tool for the caps to punch a hole in the cap. Oh, jeez. And the fun doesn't end. Oh, this stuff is quite... I've got old hollandaise biscuity things. Whoa. Real Dutch licorice. Oh, I'm not a licorice fan. I'll probably get lots of hate mail for this, but I'm not a licorice person. Sorry, I just don't get licorice, although I know someone who is. So, that will be fine and dandy. Oh, yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Chocolate. Koja Pids Reap. I can't even pronounce that. I don't even want to pronounce that. It's not secretly made in China, is it? No, no. Here we go. It's an 8-pack. Hang on. There's lots of... Right, 8-pack. Whoa, nice. Chocolate. Whoa, look at that. not bad. Don't mind that at all. Dutch caramel waffles. Oh, they sound nice. And no idea. I wish I could pronounce these. These are like what are they? Blackberry, blackcurrant, or something. Oh, they got stevia in them, which is a sweetener. And yeah, some sort of, I don't know, blackcurrant things. Awesome. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at the hat kit. Not that there's much to it. There's a solar cell, power, and a motor. Turns out this is Belgian chocolate. .be is the Belgian domain thingo. And look who turned up. I picked him up from preschool, didn't I, Sagan?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your news story today?
It was a marble run.
Marble run, wasn't it? We built it, didn't we, on the weekend? It was lots of fun. Yeah? And we've got some video of it, don't we, up on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun video, isn't it? It's time-lapse. It's on the EEVblog 2 channel. If you haven't seen it, sometimes I put stuff like that on there. Yeah. And this is from Robert. It's a present. Happy birthday, Sagan. How old did you turn the other day?
4.
4. Wow. All right, let's open it up.
Yeah.
See what Robert sent, yeah? You excited?
Yeah. A new Lego set.
Is it Lego? It's a play. I don't think it's Lego. It's Playmobil. You don't have Playmobil. Look, it's a... Show the camera. It's a pirate. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a pirate. Awesome. With a treasure chest and a monkey. Yeah? Awesome. So, Playmobil, I don't really know. I kind of sort of heard of it, but it looks like another Lego type thing. No? Yep. It's not Lego. Very similar, but awesome. Thanks, Robert. Say thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
And Robert's done some business cards. Check these out. A lot of people do these. He said don't show the bottom because it's got his number and stuff on there. You know, looks like, is that 0.5 millimeter PCB? Certainly looks smaller than 0.8, so most likely. And yeah, it's got a little micro on there. Here's one actually done up, and it had a green LED flashing over there before, and now it's flashing orange. I'm not sure what it's supposed to flash. Is that Morse code? Nope, there we go, green. So I'm not sure what it's flashing, but yeah, a lot of people do business cards like this. There's lots of techniques. Some people do cutouts in them and put very thin quad flat packs in there, actually mounted inside the cutout, so you can get the smallest profile possible. So that's just an AT Tiny 24 on their tiny little QFN package by the looks of it. And yeah, there's many different techniques for making digital business cards like this. A lot of people have like a USB cutout in the sides that you can, plug it in, and it's got your resume and everything in digital format, etc., example projects and photos and all that sort of jazz. Not a bad idea to impress someone. Something like these digital business cards, they're not designed to show off your design skills at all. It's just designed to show that you like having fun and you do this sort of thing. You like electronics, you do these sorts of things for fun, and well, that counts for a lot at a job interview. He's designed a little flashing board here with RGB LEDs for jewelry type things, and there we go. And it'll operate for like 40 hours on a CR2032 doing any pre-programmed pattern. Tiny little 6-pin micro in there with a nice little, is that right? Yeah, that looks like a right-angled lens RGB LED. Neat. There's some jazzy instructions here for assembling these caps, which are designed for, kids to do just to have some fun. And you need a hammer, of course, and we've got a hole punch thing here for punching holes in caps. Geez, that'll come in handy. 6mm, just wham in. Thank you, ma'am. And just solder on the motor. But I've had no luck whatsoever, I'm afraid. Not indoors. I shine a torch on it and it doesn't go. I have to go outside. Ooh, nerds are afraid of the sun. So thank you very much, Robert. I'll link in his website. There it is, ulightm.com down below. And another one from the Netherlands. Jeez, they don't stop. From Person Unknown. Thank you very much, Person Unknown. Mr. Anonymous, or Ms. Anonymous. let's have a look. More paper, more paper, more paper, more paper. It's tiny. Oh, it's not that tiny, but whoa, vintage pouch time. Let's have a look. BBC. Whoa. Oh, Gossen, look. I'll take it out. Oh, geez, it is even thinner than the case. And we have the original manual for it. Check it out. An old Gossen Metrowatt digital meter. Awesome. Another 2-minute teardown. Beauty. Gossen Metrowatt isn't exactly the best thing ever made. It's a little bit crusty. It's 0.25% on basic DC volts accuracy, but yeah, construction-wise, it's just, listen. Like, it just doesn't instill a lot of confidence, really, but old school Gossens weren't as good as the new ones, that's for sure. The thing doesn't even have any screws. You just prise up a couple of the clips at the back. That's pretty awful. And look inside, all through hole. There's our switch, which isn't too shabby at all. I don't mind that nice see-through plastic thing with individual clips in there. I'm not sure about the force on that down on the clips, but anyway, it still looks in very good nick. We've got a 9-volt battery snap. I mean, this thing would just be awful in terms of having to change the battery. There's our fuse just tucked in there. That's an interesting arrangement, actually. They've got the fuse. They've got a cutout for the fuse on the board. I don't think I've ever seen that. And then you just pop out the fuse like that, and they've just got the 2 flat contacts on top. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Very, very interesting. Well, it's cheap ass anyway. And they actually got nice shielding on the case, front and back, actually. That was quite common back in the day. Well, still is. But anyway, some 4000 series CMOS, and there's the top side of the rotary contact, 0.5% through-hole resistors there, LM308, lots of bodginess happening around there. Wow, look how they've bodged that cap in right on its end there. Unbelievable. A couple of free wires going across here. Wow, crusty as little Cermet trimmer there, and no doubt under here will be a and there's our current shunt. That'd be our 10 amp current shunt there. They've just taken little nibbles out of there. That's actually not a bad way to do it, actually. And under the LCD here is probably, if I can get this out of the socket, my guess, my guess under there will find like an ICL 7106 or something like that. Just standard like old school multimeter 3.5 digit chipset. Actually, I'm having a real dog of a time getting that LCD out. Anyway, this thing is completely non-functional on all its ranges. It's doing weird-ass stuff, so yeah, it's just dead as a dodo, I'm afraid. Maximum, yeah, ICL 71 at 36. There you go. 40th week 92. Wow, this is, in the scheme of things, this is a relatively modern meter. It's not like it's from the 80s. Jeez, I was still making this into the 90s. Wow, look at that. IKEA battery made in China. Anyway, if you want to know an interesting fact about IKEA, go look up the company. They're actually a not-for-profit company. Sounds a bit dodgy. The European onslaught continues. It wouldn't be a mailbag without something from Germany. So hi to all my German viewers. Germany is in my top 4 list of countries for viewership. I think it goes US, UK, Germany, and Australia. Something like that. Awesome. Hi, greetings from a hardware hacker from Leipzig in East Germany. All right, let's have a look. Thank you very much, Joe. G'day, Joe. Not a very German name. Is it a nickname? But what's Joe saying? Oh, here we go. Another. Cracked. Unfortunately. So, yeah, it's made in Germany. Has it got a brand? I don't know, maybe on the note, but anyway, it's an analog meter. Woohoo! Sorry, got the face tracking there, and smells about late 60s vintage perhaps, and certainly looks about late 60s vintage, possibly made into the 70s would be my guess. Looks like big overload button on there, and woohoo, 2-minute teardown. And you know I love calculators. We also have a Casio FX-3800P we'll take a quick look at. Awesome. This, I believe the 3800P used to come in a wallet, a foldable leather wallet. Am I right in that? I don't know. Seems to be a complete winner though. And a beauty non-VPAM. This is like pre that visually perfect algebraic method rubbish. So awesome for everyday use. Beauty. This puppy is certainly very old school. Look at this. And no doubt a taut band meter movement on this thing. And a pretty spongy feeling switch on it. Ooh, don't like it anyway. Got an overload protection and fail. Actually, is that the company who make it? Electrish Dayton? I'm not sure. Anyway, 20k ohms per volt. So, yeah, you know, your typical movement. And bingo, look at this. Third month, 67. That's 1967, folks. Oh, look at that. Certainly 1960s vintage tech. Look at those resistors. You just don't get those anymore. Oh, they got two in series there. They've just wrapped the leads. You can see them under there. Anyway, I don't even know what you call those, what the official name for those package resistors is. Like metal, you know, cylindrical with the metal can ends on them. I don't actually know. But anyway, look at the... I'm a bit surprised at the... that looks like a really good quality range switch, and after all these years, looks like very little wear on it. It's just a piss poor ball bearing mechanism, if there's any ball bearing mechanism in there at all. That's a bit of a shame. So just from a feel point of view, but from an electrical quality point of view, no dramas whatsoever. And look, here's our shunt resistors. Check out this. It looks like one of those mazes. And this is an interesting tapped adjustment here. You unscrew that and you slide along and you can slightly adjust the resistance on that thing. It's actually quite a neat way to do it, rather than just, you know, like we saw before, how they took a little notch out, or you know, often they'll just put like a little bit of solder on there or something or scrape it off or something like that to adjust it. That's actually really quite neat. And these other coils down here, they're big ass wire wound resistors, I believe. The one thing you won't find in here, of course, is a battery, because if you were paying attention before, on the front, there is no ohms range, so there is no need for a battery internal to this thing. But check out the amount of ranges here. Like, look, we've got our AC, well, let's go for our DC current, you know, 6 amps, 1.5 amps, all the way down to 1.5 milliamps. Don't have a microamp scale on this one. They just, I guess they just didn't bother. But yeah, it goes up to 600 volts maximum, right down to 1.5 volts. So this one's not even a VOM, a volt ohm meter, because it doesn't do ohms. It's a VAM. It's a volt amps meter. And here's this Casio FX-3800P. The P is programmable, hence the program buttons there, but it is quite, you know, your general purpose usable scientific calculator. Separate keys for squared, 1 on X, no problems whatsoever. Shifted register exchange XY key, though. That's a little bit annoying, because on a standard Casio, I use my register exchange key all the time. But anyway, 69 and factorial. That's a test of how fast the processor is. It did it a bit you know, it wasn't that slow, but not completely instant. And it's got all your regular stuff, polar to rectangular conversion, all your statistics stuff as well, all your typical Casio stuff of that era. And this one is your old school PCB. Look at that. Before they went to, as I've shown in previous ones, the membrane boards. That's a bit how you're doing the power switch, just onto your carbon tracks there. Not a huge fan of that, but it works and still works to this day, so no problems. Yeah, Casio, of course, always roll their own ASICs, and the battery lasts like forever, like decades. Oops, the knob fell off. Can't even remember where that went to. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's only goes in one position. Yeah, that's a bit dodgy. Anyway, it is the 60s. Have to give it a break. So thank you very much for sending in those, Joe, and the FX-3800P. It'll get daily use around here. Bet your bottom dollar. Better open this one because please open before May 25th. It's Kickstarter related. This one comes from Mallinson Electrical in Aspley in Huddersfield in the old Dart. So I don't need the knife to open that one because it's got one of these convenient pull tabs. So let's see what this Kickstarter is. Don't bother reading it. Oh, so I've got a schematic. Okay, it's going to be a little board module. Every man and his dog's doing a little Kickstarter-y module these days, which is great. And it looks like some sort of wireless module kind of thing. Let's take a quick look. And this is a Bluetooth audio link. There's the Bluetooth module, dead giveaway. It's a Kickstarter. It's run by Tom Cousins and a couple of his mates, Jacob Rawson and Tom McQueen, and they're all 17, 18 years old. Next year headed off to university to study EE. Awesome, guys. Best of luck with that. And they're running a Kickstarter. So, well, here we go. Bluetooth audio link. There's their names.
Hello, Kickstarter. My name's Tom.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Tom.
And we're the creators of Bluetooth Audio Link, or BAL for short. Right, hello, Kickstarter. My name's Tom.
You're Jacob.
I'm Jacob. Right. So, I think we should pop up at the start. I think it should be... Hi, Kickstarter.
Warning, may contain electrons. Well, I hope so. Dewey.co.uk. They're a bunch of pommies and having a go at a Kickstarter. Check it out. Link down below. And this is one of their very early rough prototypes. The final version will be a bit different to this, a purple PCB. Guess where they got that from? And they call this the BAL, i.e. Bluetooth Audio Link, and they've smashed their 300, very, very modest, 350 pounds, none of this dollar rubbish, pounds mark. So this is based on the RN52 chipset from Microchip. It was Rovin Networks before they got gobbled up, and yeah, they've just whacked that on a board. They've got the audio output, external mic connection here. They've got the output audio amp and the voltage reg and some GPIO as well. And do we have a bodge wire? There's got to be a bodge wire on every early prototype. Beauty. So if you want to back these young fellas, link is down below. They have smashed their target, but I'm sure they want to smash it even further. Good luck, guys. This one's got time sensitive on it from Femtocow. That rings a bell. Have we had Femtocow on here before? So, there doesn't seem to be any urgency on the packet itself. How the hell do I open this one? There we go. Let's have a squiz. And yeah, we got some little modules. Let's take a look. And Michael from Femtocow, yes, he's having a second suck at the sav. You've seen his Kickstarter project on here before. That was the SMD soldering trays, which went pretty well. He's got a new one. This is the USB912, and you might be able to find out, and you might be able to figure out what it means by this 9-volt and 12-volt switch and a USB input. Yes, it's a boost converter from 5-volt USB up to 9 or 12 volts DC. comes with a DC jack to power. Is that like a standard like 2.5mm pin center? Because that can be really annoying. The world hasn't standardized on one type of these yet. It's really annoying. And just like the other guys, Michael has also smashed his goal. Geez, Kickstarters are popular, and but I'm sure he's looking for more. So if you want to check it out, there's 9 days left. Link down below. Ooh, I'm zoomed in, so I can't really do the proper finger thing. Down below somewhere. So thanks to everyone who sent in for today's mailbag. And yes, sorry if I didn't get around to getting yours. I've got another 4 large parcels I haven't opened, plus at least maybe 15 or more other packages. Anyway, if you like mailbag, please give it a big thumbs up. Catch you next time.